up? We're back. We're about 10 days out from my first Olympia. It's crazy even saying it. I still don't even have the words. But I'm just gonna keep doing what I do, grinding it out in the gym. We're gonna hit some back today, and let's get it.
Do you want one more or do you want there?
One, two, three. Two more. One, two, three. Yeah, I got it. Okay. 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 That's it. I'll just take the crust off of some bread. I'm on real low carbs, so I only get a cup of oats for the whole day, and then I try and save it for right before I train, so that I'll have some kind of energy. But I feel like it runs out with just the stress driving in California traffic. I use up all those grams of carbs before I even get here. The 405 is like doing the stairs for like a half hour, so maybe that's why I come in shredded. All the fucking stress of this traffic. Shoulder one from the, is it the side or the top? Oh, I think it's the back. Yeah, I'm so drained. But I think the scariest thing in bodybuilding is when someone tells a bodybuilder you lost because of this body part, and they show up the next show and they look exactly the same. That would be, I would rather take like 5th or 6th place and came in looking better than look the same and even get a 1st place. As crazy as that sounds. Yeah, you won some prize money, but it still shows you have no control over adapting on your body. You cannot manipulate the body part that they're telling you they're lagging in. So that was the thing that I was the most excited about with Tampa, is I lost Chicago because of the back. I lost because of 1 or 2 poses, really. So I just told myself, man, if I'm gonna go into Tampa, I'm gonna lose every pose but back double bi and back lat spread. And I won those 2 poses, I still lost the show. But to me, that's a victory, because that shows that if I can focus on a body part and put emphasis into it, it'll change. And that means with time and years under my belt, the rest of the body will catch up. And that's a good sign. When you keep repeating the same thing, that's insanity to me. That's when you see these guys, they just disappear. That's why I hate when people are like, oh, you're gonna win Mr. Olympia, you're the future Mr. Olympia. That's like the worst thing you can say, because if you followed this sport, there's been 100 guys that they've said are gonna be the next Mr. Olympia, and where are they now? Some of them are working for H&R Block, some of them are cleaning toilets. They disappear because they try and work on something and then they can't get it to change, and they come in looking the same way over and over again. Now that's money you spent, time you spent, you're putting a toll on your body, you know, time away from family and friends to look exactly the same over and over again. I'd probably go to an office job too and quit. So to me, I'm still good. Even though I lost Chicago, my Chicago was way better than what I look like in New York. So to me, every show I get better. And as long as you can say that with a 10-year under your belt, you should be at the top of the Olympia. So this being one of the worst years of my entire life, and I still get to be one of 19 guys, that means next year, everybody's fucked. So everybody wants to work on their lower back. People don't realize that there's your erectors, which you get from deadlifts and hyperextensions, and there's the bottom of your lats, which is like the butterfly. So there's the outer corners, and then there's the bottom of it where it comes up and gives you that Christmas tree. So unfortunately, you can't work both. So what we're doing is we're putting our feet back and going overhand. So we're pulling it under. It's almost the bottom movement of a pullover. And then we're putting our feet forward and going underhand, so that way we can work the outer of the lats. As you can see, there's nothing fancy. I don't know, I'm not saying that it's not what's best, but for me and where I'm at in my career, regular movements work for me. I don't have to be hooking up bands or upside down or using some breathing mask or putting 100 different pads so the angle's different. We did rows, more rows, pull downs, and some more rows. The only thing that's missing is some deadlifts that we'll do on my second back day, because I do 2 back days a week. But otherwise, man, I just believe in compound movements, and I think that's a big thing with bodybuilding these days. A lot of these guys see their heroes and these pros doing these crazy contraptions, and yeah, that's what works for them because they've already built that mass. Now they're just at the point where they get to fill in gaps. And sometimes you do have to fill in those gaps with random angles that you can't hit from certain machines. But me, I'm still string bean. I still am trying to fill out my body and get some muscle on my body. So you get that by lifting heavy ass weight, picking it up and putting it down over and over again. And that's what we did today. Nothing special, nothing fancy. And I'll tell you this, whenever you watch somebody's workouts and it's boring, that's what works. Because it should be boring. There shouldn't be anything fancy. There shouldn't anything be cool. But sometimes these guys have to do some crazy shit to sell DVDs and get views and get likes. But I promise you, that's not what they're doing to get to where they were. You want to see how people got to where they are? Watch them in the beginning of their career. And chances are you probably didn't even know who they were. If you haven't been to Goals at night, this is the best time to come. All the Gymshark douchebags are gone, and it's just the real lifters. Shout out to all the night owls. Every bodybuilder is I get up at 6 a.m., done by 5:30. Not me. But I don't like people, so this is better this way. I do wish I was born just a little bit sooner. If I could have competed in the 90s, that would have been really cool. But I think being able to have the opportunity to be able to bring older generations' looks into newer bodybuilding is a dynamic I don't think a lot of people get to do. I think because of the classic division, it's actually ruined a lot of those opportunities. Instead of the open class getting a lot of these classic physique guys that could bring a new shape to the mass monsters, they're going to the classic division. So we're losing those guys. We're losing all these talent that could be changing the game. So I guess it's just more room and more money for me to do it then. Because if I have to be one of one and be the only one to do that, then that's kind of something cool too that I should be able to appreciate. Is to be able to look back and think, man, you know what, I kind of revamped the open class and brought back, you know, a physique and some aesthetics that don't exist anymore. The biggest problem with bodybuilding now is that the majority of the fans have only been following bodybuilding for the last 5 years, maybe 10 at the most. So it's so hard for them to think 10 years from now. You know, right now, everybody hates on Phil, but you know what, 10 years from now, people are gonna be saying, man, you know what, I was alive when the guy broke the record for the Mr. Olympias. It's like the same thing, Phil is the LeBron. Everybody hates LeBron. And when I was younger, everyone hated us living in Chicago because we had Jordan. But now, what do you hear? Now everyone dogs LeBron because they were alive during that 90s. And you cherish those times because you have these memories that go with those people. And yeah, you might have hated them at that time because they beat your team. And now we have bodybuilders that are beating your favorite bodybuilders. But watch, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, all those people that are hating on Phil and hating on all the bodybuilders today are gonna be the ones arguing with the newer guys. It's the same shit that's going on with rappers. You know, back in the day, Eminem was like the devil. He was like our Elvis. Oh my God, how could you listen to that music? Now these little punk kids thinking Machine Gun Kelly and all these other little hood rats are the new future when they wouldn't be alive or wouldn't be around if it wasn't for the people that started that. And that's the same thing goes for bodybuilding. We wouldn't have Phil Heats and we wouldn't have these champions if someone didn't instill that into him to get him to want to get into the sport. So it's just gonna keep going on, and I feel like I'm living proof of that. I'm walking around showing you that somewhere down the road, a long time ago, somebody made me think, man, I wanna look like that. And now, look at me. Now I did it. Now I'm about to, in 10 days, I'm gonna get on that stage. I'm not gonna win the Olympia in 10 days, but watch, somebody's gonna be watching it, and they're gonna be like, man, one day that kid might be able to make it, and now I want to get into bodybuilding because I want to look like him. And before you know it, 10 years from now, they're going to be saying, man, I remember saying Sergio was going to do this. Everybody always does that. Everybody wants to be the first to call it. You know, every time we see somebody come out, oh my God, they're the future. We always want to be the first to say this person's going to be the next bodybuilder. So that way, 10 years from now, you can be like, oh, I was right. So there's so much fighting and stuff like that, but I think these younger kids don't realize that's the best part about bodybuilding. In sports, you score X amount of points, you win. There is no debating, there is no arguing. It's not, you know, this team was better, but this other team scored more points. No, that team won. In bodybuilding, it's not like that. You could argue, and they still do. They'll still argue to the end of the time. They'll tell you that someone back in the black and white days, where there wasn't even color on TV, was using a leaf to cover their privates, was the best bodybuilder ever. We designed a trophy over Eugene Sandow. That means his body was so crazy they wanted to make a trophy out of it. Now, Steve Reeves, Eugene Sandow, like all those guys, it's like a regular body. So we are adapting. We're evolving every day. But that's actually my favorite part about bodybuilding, and it's actually some of people's least favorite part is the arguing, the debating. But I love that. No one's right, no one's wrong. You like this body, you like apples, you like oranges. Who's gonna tell you which one's right or wrong? It doesn't matter. That's the beauty of bodybuilding. So that is the end of back workout number 1. I do two back workouts a week. I try and focus on upper back and lower back. Usually more compound movements like we did today. A lot of rows. I'm really lagging in the bottom part of my back. My back double bi at the bottom really sucks. So that's where I try and focus on. So it's hard to tell when you're doing movements, because that's the biggest problem with people getting into bodybuilding is they'll watch a video and this person started here and they ended there. But are they going down with the elbows? Are they going out? Are they squeezing their upper back? Are they lifting their chest up and going under? And that's just part of it that you learn as you get into it and you fill in those gaps like I was talking about. So I'm trying to fill in the bottom middle part of my back. So that's what we did today. Even if it's a overhand exercise, which is primarily upper back, I'm still going down with my elbows so I can hit that lower back. So that concludes back workout number 1. 10 weeks out. Every day the carbs are getting less and less, but I don't know, it's weird. I feel way less pressure. It's crazy. I'm getting ready for the Super Bowl, but I have like no pressure getting ready for the show. I feel really good. One of the benefits to training in Golds though is you get to run into a lot of the old timers, a lot of the people that bodybuilded back in the day. And it's so crazy, they all say the same thing. They all say to really try and enjoy your first Mr. Olympia, to try and enjoy these first experiences, because it's true. We're bodybuilders. We're always like, what's the next one? What's the next show? And then before you know it, you're retired and you're done, and you're like, man, you know what? I missed that. I didn't even enjoy that. So me, and I say this all the time, and I'll debate with anybody all they want, I am the biggest pro fan of bodybuilding. There's no pro in IFBB that's a bigger fan than me. I've been going to these things since I was a little kid, so I'm able to appreciate a lot of things that I think a lot of bodybuilders that maybe didn't grow up with bodybuilding don't appreciate. I'm about to get an Olympia jumpsuit. I'm gonna have the best backstage pass at Olympia anyone's ever paid for. I get to just hang out with these guys, and yeah, you know, I gotta go out on stage and I gotta do my work, but really I'm just gonna really enjoy it. And to tell you the truth, I think that's actually helping my body heal and evolve a lot better. I don't have to tell you that I have tons of pressure that I put on myself when I get ready for shows. And I think knowing that there's no way that I can win the Mr. Olympia, it doesn't matter what I do, it's actually calmed me down. It's made me feel a lot more relaxed. And cortisol levels and stress and all that, it tends to make your body not change the way you want it to when you're stressed out. And I'm seeing huge changes than I have when I'm putting everything into a show and stressing about it and just a wreck and just a mess, the whole prep, where now I'm just like, I'm looking forward to just hanging out with my heroes, and I get to watch them and you know, you get to study them and see what they do before they go on stage, because nobody gets to see what these guys do before they go on stage. You don't get access to that. You know, you get to see what they show you on their YouTubes and their DVDs, but nobody's following somebody 24/7 right before they're going on stage, how they pump up, what they're eating. So I really just gonna be a little mole back there and just be stealing everybody's little ideas, and really I wanna be able to say that before some of these guys retire, I was able to stand next to them watch them and be a part of this. So that was back. Tomorrow we're gonna do some legs, and we'll be back at it.